Yahoo! Welcome, my beautiful brothers and sisters, to the Aquarian Adepts, my platform, our platform to become your spiritual server. And welcome to the second Oracle card reading, and this is the Revelation. I intended to put this out on Saturday, but got a little caught up, but still wanted to make sure I brought this video out. I'm going to take my glasses off just because there's a glare off of the glasses, but this is going to be the Revelation video. So, in this reading, what I do is I bring out a bit of my nerd side, of course, and I give you all Pokemon to choose from. You can either choose from Bulbasaur, Charmander, Squirtle, or Pikachu. And each Pokemon has a different theme. And I match each of these themes to a particular Oracle card that I draw. So the themes are Bulbasaur, how can I grow? Charmander, how can I initiate? Squirtle, how can I flow? And Pikachu is a bit of a wild card. So what I did with this reading was did it a little bit different. I drew two other cards that kind of bound them all together. And the overall theme for this Oracle card reading is this. We have the card of authority. The card of authority, which reads, the frequency of authority reminds us that true authority is powerful, directed, and realized, yet receptive, wise, and loving. And then we also have the card of taking shelter. The card of taking shelter. This is my Sacred Travelers card, Oracle deck. And it says the answers are within. This is a rather powerful week. Powerful revelation as far as the overall, because it's talking about us actually, being the spiritual or having this personal responsibility in our life. And it's about, yes, being that powerful, wise individual, but also recepting and open to what the universe is offering us. And sometimes we need to go within. I like to see this taking shelter card as, us going within and, us seeking the answers within. A lot of times we want to look outside of ourselves for answers to the external. And the external does give us many signs. It bears many signs for us. But this is ultimately us having the spiritual responsibility to embrace our journey. To embrace our journey as ours, as something that's unique, as something that only we can walk. And with that comes great responsibility. But with that also comes great truth, great wisdom, great uncomplicated joy. And it's about, expressing that journey that we have, out towards the world. We go in this inner journey and then we express it out into the world. So it's like, it's directed and it's powerful. You want to be showing this version where you feel actualized or realized, and of course you want to relay that to other people. But sometimes, like I said, in order to really get to that point of that awareness, you have to take shelter, come within. So that's kind of like the overall energies for this Oracle reading. Now, if you chose Bulbasaur and you're asking, how can I grow? If you chose Bulbasaur and you're asking, how can I grow? Then the card that we actually have for you is the card of Miracle. I really love this card. I love the deep purples, the reds, the yellows, the gold. It reads, the frequency of miracle supports our belief in ourselves as part of Source and therefore our belief that anything is possible. I get the feeling that if you chose Bulbasaur and you're asking, how can I grow? It's because you are feeling stuck. If you are feeling stuck in some way, shape, or form. You are feeling maybe even buried. Because it's Bulbasaur, it's known as the seed Pokemon. But seeds can only grow unless they are buried. So a lot of times, life will stack so much dirt on top of us. And will stack so much what we perceive as crap or negative situations on top of us. And really, we are actually a miracle. We are a miracle seed. And when we allow ourselves to believe that we are part of Source, that we are Source, and that really anything is possible, we will see that just because we are buried doesn't mean that we're going to stay buried. Because, yeah, that seed, from that seed contains all the information it needs to grow, to evolve, to move forward, and to replicate the process, because that seed will grow into a tree which will bear more seeds. So you have that truth within you. If you chose Bulbasaur and you're asking yourself how to grow, look at yourself in the mirror and see that you are that miracle. Everything around you is a miracle. And when you believe that all of this is a part of that one source, you won't feel stuck anymore. You simply won't feel stuck anymore. Now, if you chose Charmander, if you chose the lizard Pokemon, Charmander, how can I initiate? Can initiate by universal love. It's interesting how we got two master numbers here. Miracle was 33, universal love is 44. This reads, the frequency of universal love activates the connection we feel to each other, to our planet, and to the whole of existence itself. This is pretty similar to the miracle card, but what this is saying is that the way that you initiate, those of you who chose Charmander, the way that you initiate is by embracing unconditional love, seeing everything as a part of each other. Everything here, all the plants, all the animals, all this energy, it's one energy here. But we are kind of fragments of this energy, and sometimes it's hard to see that. Therefore, we may act out. We may get very passionate about our stance. We may get very fired up about our stance, and there's nothing wrong with that. But what happens is that sometimes we'll create so many explosions, and we'll create this separation between us and the outside world, and even our internal world. But embracing unconditional love, embracing this vibration, seeing and feeling it too, because fire is very much so about feeling. You know, it's like fire, yes, it illuminates. But if you ever get close to a fire, you can feel the heat off of it. So this is how you really raise your vibration. This is how you initiate, those of you who chose Charmander, is by feeling this connection, feeling this heat, feeling this power, and this unconditional love that is like this, pretty much this beautiful spark rope that exists between you and everything you see around you. That's how you can initiate. And this could simply come as like taking any type of action that is in resonance with that universal love, that unconditional love, whatever is resonant with that. So maybe even like complimenting people that you might not necessarily always compliment, or doing something you wouldn't necessarily always do, or being open to a particular group of people or a particular genre of music, even though you don't necessarily do it. This is about seeing the divinity in all of that. Now, for those of you who are a part of the Squirtle Squad, asking, how can you flow? How can I flow? We got the card of change. And it's just interesting because it's circles that are interlocked with this square. And change reads, the frequency of change supports our ability to gracefully dance with the forever changing nature of reality, both inward and outward, so that we can appreciate the sweet release of the old and the birth of a new. It's just kind of interesting because I really feel like those of you who have chose Squirtle this week and are asking how to flow, you need to come out of your shell. You're not really going to be able to flow unless you come out of your shell. A lot of times we can be resistant to change, when change is the only thing that's constant. So change is the flow. Change is this motion. It is this fluid. It is this sea of energy that we can't see it, but it's here. We do see it. But there's so much more to this than meets the eye. So a lot of times what happens, we'll remain stuck, we'll remain in our shell, we'll clam up. But this is about flow, this is about change, this is about becoming liquid, right? Squirtle, if you chose Squirtle, you are being called by the universe to embrace change, to embrace flow. And this can happen in small ways and big ways. Sometimes we have to build up to big changes, and that's okay. Like say, if you want to change up your eating habits, or you want to work out a little bit more, just take it step by step, day by day. You don't necessarily have to go all the way to Blastoise or Mega Blastoise yet. That was a bit of a nerd tangent, yes. But take it step by step, step by step. But you will build great strength and even this deeper sense of security and inner knowing by embracing change. Even though that sounds interesting, because when you think of something as secure, you think of something that won't change. But true security is knowing that our spirit is infinite, and that even though things may change and take different form, it does not mean that we are gone. And the final card with Pikachu, wild card energy, lightning bolt from Zeus, whatever you want to call it. we have the card of prosperity. This is a very festive card. I really love the colors of this card. Prosperity, which read, the frequency of prosperity supports our feeling of well-being by allowing the inclusion of everything that makes our body, mind, heart, and soul and spirit sing, and invites us to express ourselves in joy and celebration of the abundance and riches that the universe provides. This is about recognizing the infinite abundance, recognizing and coming from a place of this prosperous attitude. This is not about lack consciousness. This is about abundant consciousness. Because especially if you chose Pikachu, you might be suffering from this idea of lack and scarcity, when really there is so much abundance and so much prosperity and so much to enjoy in and revel in and to really like just dance about, sing about, celebrate, be grateful for. Scarcity consciousness and lack consciousness is pushed really heavily right now on the collective. It's being perpetuated very heavily on the collective by these darker entities. But what's also being pushed, not necessarily even being pushed, but what's just kind of radiating and vibrating, is this abundance consciousness. This consciousness that you can't ever run out. There is no such thing as lack. Lack is but an illusion. It's a complete and total illusion. Pikachu, especially if you think about it, kind of makes sense, because Pikachu, you would think that Pikachu should evolve because then it would have more. It's lacking in evolution. So people might look at Pikachu and say, oh, it's not fully evolved yet. But Pikachu constantly finds a way to get through. Pikachu doesn't know the definition of lack. Pikachu really doesn't. If you watch the show or anything like that, or just know anything about the franchise, they don't understand the definition of lack. They keep going into the very end. And even when you get to the very end, it's a new beginning. If you haven't already watched my daily horoscope, I highly encourage you to check that out, because that's kind of the overall theme, where it's like we're at the end, but then we're starting anew. So it's like we're linking up to the future moment, to the future now, which is a higher level of consciousness. It's a higher level of awareness. We are evolving from lack consciousness to abundant consciousness, and it's an interesting transition. But like I said, if you chose Pikachu, then prosperity is the vibration that you are tuned into. So remember at the beginning, authority and taking shelter. You have to take authority for your life. You have to take authority for your spiritual journey. And yes, this is Libra season, right? So this is definitely going to be a time where you're going to want to reach out to other people. You're going to want to, collaborate, communicate, put yourself out there. But also don't forget who you are in the midst of all that. Yes, we want balance and harmony right now. But it's also about still going within. Libra is opposite of Aries for a reason. Yeah, Libra might be the sign of relationships and people, but it's on the same coin as Aries. It's on the same coin, the same axis. It's just two sides of the same coin. So this is about recognizing yourself, your path, standing on your truth, your personal truth, but also see how it relates to the universal truth. Nothing wrong with taking shelter and going within, but nothing wrong with having the authority to push forward, move forward, and to express and expose yourself too. Because, truth be told, there is no hiding from God in the universe, or Goddess. We can't hide. It's really... And take it from someone who has a sun in Scorpio in the 12th house. Like, I know for a fact that we can't hide. So, this is kind of like your go-ahead to really be unapologetically you. Be unapologetically you. That is it for your Oracle card reading. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. I would really, really appreciate it. I probably will be filming another one of these. I'm not sure when exactly. Probably be Thursday. And maybe that's what I'll do. Maybe I'll do it on Thursday, go through the weekend, then post it again. Post a revelation on Monday. But anyways, let me know how you feel about this reading. And always remember, my beautiful brothers and sisters, to keep moving forward. Stay focused and I don't know. Yahoo! Smile often.